Hello everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Today I'm going to walk you through what was appearing to be a bug in the latest version of MotiveWave 6.25. There's now been a fix for it, but it's not about that. It's about showing you how to set up Redis on your Windows, how to set up the code with a strategy so you can make calls to Redis. And the idea I do it, and that's Redis NoSQL database. The reason I do it is because I can use the database as a central hub so that I can do other outside analysis using MotiveWave data and then be able to use other scripts, Python scripts, Java, whatever I want, accessing the data and then pushing the data back into, from Redis, the data hub, back into the MotiveWave code strategy and be able to maybe put out some orders. So I'm not quite there yet, but theoretically that should be able to be done. But in the meantime, let me just show you what we have here. This is again MotiveWave 6.25 on Windows 10. And one of the key factors I found that was pretty hard to do was to get Redis. What I did was I created a WSIL 2 subsystem for Debian Linux. So I have here whatever version of, so this is 5.01 of Redis, the server. It's working just fine. I know that that can work across my Windows, not only in another Debian Linux experiment. Here you can see I can just do a simple Redis client call. And then from there, I can ping, get a pong, and then do a very basic data setup using basically a set and a get, and it works. Now, as I said, this is universal across Windows. So if you have the Redis client installed on your system, this is the what I call a DOS command prompt, which is really a Windows command prompt, which is this guy right here. You'll be able to load up and hopefully get your Redis client working on that DOS prompt. And you can see here it's talking to Redis, no problem, on the WSIL2 Debian Linux environment. So that's all good, and we're ready to rock and roll. That we have Redis now working. Now let's get into MotiveWave. So in here I have a custom strategy I made called MACD reversing strategy level 2 Redis. Okay, I'm not going to get into the code of the strategy itself. That's not what we're here to do. So I just want to show you that this is the. Let me just get rid of this. Deactivate the strategy. So what I can do now is I can load up the latest copy. Hopefully you know how to set up your Eclipse and have the all that synchronized with MotiveWave. It's way better than it was a year ago, I'll tell you that. It's automatically synchronizes when you do a build, and once you synchronize it, it will sync up to the MotiveWave environment and with the appropriate Java jar files that you want to load up. So what we have here is I'm going to get into this. We have the strategy. I'm going to activate it, and it's the Redis one right here, and I'll show you how I know. So you create that with the default settings, whatever you want. So now we have our activate now, and again, it's always a simulate, doesn't matter, whatever you want to do, it's your money. So the strategy is now running. So if I go into the study log under display here, it'll take a couple of minutes. So what I've got here, I put in some debug statements, and I know this is working because right now we have a message here saying, hi there, in calculate, that's the function, or sorry, that's the method that you override in your strategy code. Then you can pass over the instrument. In my case, I know it's BTC USDT, that's why I do that. And then I just have a little message saying, hello, I'm in the whatever. So this first call right here, hello, attempt in whatever, to create a key with a value in Redis. Okay, so that is the call that is pushing data into Redis, so it's working, and then it will return it doing. So this is doing an H set, hash set command in Redis, and then it will return that it worked. So the problem was that with the external Redis or Jedis jar file, the newer version of MotiveWave was not picking up those third-party jar files, so they fixed it just now, which is great. So now we get past that, and now we can start processing those calls from that jar file. And from that, which I'm using Jedis, which is the Redis implementation for Java, I'm able to do a call using hget and then get the return data, which is high there. I'll show you the code. So let me show you what the problem was. So if you come under here, I'll just show you here. Right here, under my case, Brian, the folder here, user Brian. Under here you have MotiveWave extensions. In here, what you need to do is you need to put in your Java jar file. So mine is 3.33. That's the latest one I could get online from a GitHub repository. Okay, so you have to put that jar file into the ext subdirectory, okay, or folder, and that's clearly explained in the programming SDK guide for MotiveWave. As part of your Eclipse, you also have to, in your project of Eclipse, you also have to put in the library that same jar file in the project as well under lib. Okay, and you can just drag and drop that into the lib folder here. Here, you can see it builds fine, so we get a successful build. And then I'm able to, as I said, be able to synchronize now with the correct strategy. This one right here, MACD reversing strategy level 2 Redis. Okay, so let me show you the code on what you need to do. This is a snippet of what you need to do now. So in your import, you have to import obviously Jedis. Okay, and just to show you, this is not smoke and mirrors. This is a study header. So here we have the name right here, the description. As I said, MACD reversing strategy uses MACD reversing strategy level 2 study Redis. That's one I just pulled down. So that's working. So what you got to do to see this work, in the calculate method, and you can put the Redis calls wherever you want in the strategy code, but because I'm wanting to debug it and see it run frequently, that's why I just put it into calculate just for testing. So what happens is you'll have your definition, your usual study code. As I said, I have this debug statement that pops up in the study log. And then here, interesting. So you have Jedis imported in from that jar file. You have to call, obviously, your server if it's remote or local host. From there, I have that message here. Hello, attempting to blah, blah, blah in Redis. And then what it does is it will make a call to Jedis. So I know that this will exist when I do it through my Redis client. Let's say here in my command prompt. So if I go Redis client, and then I go hget crypto, and then the other one was called BTC USDT. Okay, so I know in the server, the Redis server, it will bring back my hi there, right? So that is because I push that data in using an hset. I use hset in very a lot of common ways. I show that in my Python course. I'll try to put a link into the. Well, let me just pull it up here. A lot of people ask me how do we do this. So what you can learn about Redis from a Python perspective, I have a website called for my store called quantlabs.shop. If you're really like new to it, you can get the USB key here I'll send it out to you. And then also here we have this course I'm speaking about, this one right here, and that will go through custom bots and whatnot with Python. But that USB key also covers 2-hour videos of MotiveWave, including the SDK as well. So you can get that either way. So in here we do the H set, and then just to confirm I'm getting the data back. This is where my failure happened, right here, because I'm instantiating a connection, or I'm sorry, the failure for my jar, failure when it tried to connect to the jar file from the older version of MotiveWave, which had the bug. It would crash right here because it's trying to instantiate the connection to Redis, so it fails. That means it's not able to read the jar file. I put the ticket in, and I gotta say thanks to the guys and gals over at MotiveWave. They've done an awesome job in getting this fixed. Took like maybe 3 days to fix it. So because of that, here we are with a fix in it, and it's working again. So that's great. So with this in mind, we now are able to make this call and get to the subsequent code. So here we make the call to do an H set, or you can do a set if you want here. This is right here. So it's setting out the hash name, the index, and then the data. Like it's like a key store. This is the key, and this is the key value store of what Redis really is. So with that, it stores it in the database. It shows you here that it's working. So in this case, in my Python or my Java call I made here in the Redis client, Redis, so I did the hget crypto bit BTC USDT. You can clearly see I do the equivalent here, and it brings back and returns it into a string in this thing called data JSON, and then I can print it out using the debug statements in the study log. So that's what we're referring to here in this study log here. Okay, so right here you say hello attempted, or this Redis thing. Redis returned, and it returned the actual data from Redis, which is high there. So I know everything's working now, which is great, and we can proceed to do some pretty big things with this connection and MotiveWave. Both, I know it worked in Mac, Windows now. I can't say about Linux because I haven't tried it yet, but so far I gotta say thanks to everybody over at MotiveWave for making this happen very quickly. You try to do this within the folks at any of the other larger platforms. They won't be as responsive. I'm not here to bash them for that, but MotiveWave is really good for that as well, because it's a smaller community of people. Even though they got 50,000 installations, that's quite an achievement. Anyways, we'll leave it at that, and thanks for watching. We shall talk to you soon, and more videos along the way. Over and out. Oh, before I forget, I know I mentioned this quantlabs.shop business, but the USB was purposely made with a physical DVD, and I'm not sure if I'm going to continue that. I had a relationship with Amazon. I just got rid of. I just didn't like how it worked, and just trying to get it marketed was just a complete waste of time, and I didn't like the staff and whatnot. So I've ended that. I do have a few more USB keys available. I'm not even sure if I'm going to actually. Well, yeah, I will continue selling them, but as it stands right now, we have the digital versions available with the USB. Of course, the course is still there, and more importantly, if you're brand new to all this, because I know a lot of you are, just come to quantlabs.net. I got some free PDFs. You could just join and get yourself some PDFs, and you'll be put on my mailing list. Lastly, before I forget, we have the WhatsApp group as well. We're up to 120 people now. There's some good banter on it with a variety of things, crypto and my own stuff. But that's about it. We shall talk to you later. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions, comments, let me know. See ya.